Hi, folks, and welcome to Bar YU Live. This is part of the Texas Big Star TV family, and it gives us an opportunity to more than once a month, more like twice a month, sometimes more, to talk with our favorite friend and, the professor there at Bar YU, Bary Clower. Bary, how are you?
Hey, man, doing good. The rain's kind of letting up. It's a little bit cool out here. I'm standing outside right now, but I'm going to ease into the kitchen here where it's a little warmer and maybe I can hear it, and y'all can hear me a little better.
Okay.
We got Miss Ty. All right. And I want you to notice something. She's got a Stephenville.
Look at that.
Home of the Yellow Jackets.
Look at that. Stephenville, Texas, just down the road from
there,
where we broadcast.
She's ranch rodeoed and with her husband, and she also college rodeoed down there in Stephenville. So that's the kind of people we're hanging out with. And she's the only one in here that went to college and smart enough to use this smartphone. So she's helping me out get this live broadcast to you, right?
Bary, you're in Lovington, New Mexico.
That is correct.
How long did it take you to get there from your place over here? And well, you live over off I-20.
About 6.5 to 7 hours, but you know the kind of pickups we drive.
Sure. We're still waiting on that automobile or that truck sponsorship.
That's right. We can get it done. So it's looking pretty good.
So Bary, you told me your trip was pretty good, but I heard there was some maybe some issues in getting there.
Yeah, we little less than halfway here, we blew out our first tire on our trailer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, which is a good thing because you go ahead and get that spare on, and then you don't have a spare, you don't have to worry about blowing another tire out.
Yeah, for the folks that are looking, we're watching Bary change a tire, and not only is he quick, I mean, I'd put him in my pit crew any day, but he's even good working uphill. I mean, that takes lots of leg strength to do that in cowboy boots and in the traditional cowboy tire changing a tire. So I salute you, sir. The video that they shot it vertical, and however it just came out that way. So we'll edit it to make it look straight, but that makes it look. He can change tires on the moon. Hey Bary, so what are you going to be doing today if the weather's bad at a ranch rodeo? What happens?
Same thing as out on the ranch. It doesn't matter if the weather's bad. We're going to go on anyway. We have stopped a couple of rodeos in the past 20-something years, almost 30 years of doing this because of lightning.
Yeah.
When the lightning blows over, we jump right back after it and get after it, kind of like a baseball game, football game, any other professional sport. And this, is a neat deal because you have cowboys that actually work out on the ranch that are used to the elements. The horses are used to the elements and working cattle, rain or shine. The neat thing about this deal here at Lovington, it is their 100 year. It is their centennial. Lovington was Lea County here, of course, put on the map in 1917, and here being 2017. And they have just as many outlaws here as they did in 1917. So they need to come out, help them with it. We will be doing the team sorting, team doctrine, also the branding, stray gathering, and the wild cow milk. And, so it's a full-fledged 5-event rodeo. About 3 or 4 years ago, we came out and helped with this rodeo. The neat thing about it, same as here, it hadn't rained in a while. We show up and it comes a flood. So they pretty well think that we're the rainmakers out here, and so we brought it with us. And the old song says, we don't know who will stop the rain, but they know who will bring it with them.
Right,
so we were proud to have them with it.
How many participants are in the rodeo this year, Bary?
We had 13 teams. They had a good turnout. They like anywhere from 10 to 15. They'll take as many as they can. But always last minute, there's something goes wrong. Team can't make it or whatever. One guy, out of 4 or 5 couldn't come. So it worked out pretty good this year to have 13 teams. Some people are familiar with the WRCA type rodeos, and these guys run this one pretty much spot on, kind of the same type rules and format. And so it's really simple for us to come enjoy being part of it. I worked with a lot of these guys and know a lot of them. When our children were small, Courtney and Callie, it was before Coy was born, but when they were just before school years age, we moved out here to Tatum, New Mexico, which is straight north of here, and that's who's putting on the concession stand for them. And the neat thing about it is we went over and worked for Oscar and Carolyn Henner, Pat and Crip Henner. So that's who we were able to see some folks that we knew back when we lived and worked out here.
That's great. Hey, Bary, I do have another question for you. You said you're in the concession stand. What's for breakfast?
Oh, they got
Can you show us what they're doing?
Cheese, Fritos, and we got the ladies up here. We got Samantha. We got Ashley. We got Ty. We've got our whole crew in here, and she's on her phone. I tell you how New Mexico this is. We've got cheese dip and chili for breakfast. Okay,
wow.
We just get started early on the heartburn. It'd be good stuff. And hey, we got a customer coming in right now. Look here.
Look at that.
On TV. Don't even know it. But, we got our number one man here from the 4-H. That's the good thing about it. They get these kids involved in this 4-H group, and they make them work. It ain't just the moms and dads. These kids are very much a part of it.
Hey, Bary, speaking of work, we have some questions from our viewers that have some legitimate questions for a real ranch and rodeo cowboy, a working cowboy like yourself. The first one is, and here it is. You ready? This is a real legit question. What can I do to get quicker turns out of my horse when I'm working cattle?
Okay, what can I do to get better turns?
Quicker and better turns out of my horse when I'm out, working cattle.
That starts, number one, really, especially how athletic your horse is, how willing and how peppy, I guess would be the word in cowboy terms, how snappy he is. Then getting control of that. Of course, some people think that to get a bigger stop, you get a bigger bit. Some people think to make a horse move faster, you get a sharper pair of spurs. And sometimes that, may be a factor that has to be looked at. But knowing that horse and riding that horse, and that horse knows your movement. When that foot moves of yours, his foot should be moved. When your head turns and looks in the direction and your body weight goes that way, that horse needs to respond to that. Mm. And so really the bottom line is knowing your horse and knowing what button to push when you need to push it. So that's a key. I know for my horses, if I've got a slow and lazy horse, sometimes that's just the best he's going to do. And
right.
And if he's a little bit more snappy, that's the horse I want to try to take to town and win and compete on, because you're not just doing a day job. I mean, you're doing an event that could take all day out on the ranch. You've got to get it done in 2-minute time limit, and hopefully in about a 30-second time limit in order to beat the next team.
Right.
So,
great. Next question, and this actually kind of coincides with our, again, we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, I think, but on our How to Stack Hay episode of Bar YU, those of you tuning in, if you can watch the hay stacking episode, you'll learn something, I'm sure, that's going to help you. But we had a viewer that said, what about round bales of hay? How do you stack them, or do you?
We normally stack those end to end. In other words, your open end, stack it against the open end of the next bale.
Like a big caterpillar.
And then because the sides a lot of times will hold more moisture, and catch more moisture. And then if you're going to stack them in a long row, like a lot of people put 10 or heck, they even put more than that, but say you're going to put 8 or 10 in each row, scoot over and leave a little bit of a space to where air can get through there and dry those bales out. I know several people are limited on room, and so what they'll do is take and stack round bales on top of round bales. They'll put 2 side by side and then put another one right on top, much like you've seen them on a truck when they're being hauled.
Right.
They'll stack them on the ground that way.
Right.
And if that bale, if it has a lot of moisture in it and you have a lot of humidity, there was a guy lost about 300, 400 round bales here just a couple of years ago. He stacked them in big barn. It was plastic covered tarp over the top of it, and the bales were inside. And man, they did have a fire, and it took every bale out that they could have stacked in there, and it was just pretty much bottom line Johnson grass and sorghum type hay that held a lot of moisture in the stalk. And when they stacked it in there like that, it did the same thing, square bales or anything else that has that, I guess the big word of the day, spontaneous combustion.
Right. A lot of folks don't know that can happen, and it sure can. And again, if you're watching, check out the Bar YU episode about hay. And Professor Clower speaks to us in no uncertain terms that there's a reason hay is stacked the way it is and why you do it. And one of those is for safety purposes. Let's face it, the hay just, sometimes it explodes. Hey, go boom. Bary, what you going to be doing next week? You're in Lovington, New Mexico now, and looks like you're going to be in the Wood County Cowboy Church next week. Is that right? Are you going to be here next week?
Down there on the 15th to be at Wood County.
15th.
And we are trying every way possible on the 8th is be right there sitting across the table from you. I'm trying to get one of our number one sponsors, Mr. Courtney Chalk from Santo Ironworks, to come down there and come with me. He said, man, I don't have nothing to say. I said, you can just sit there and we'll act like you do. But,
well, it's funny you'd mentioned that. Santo Ironworks, there they are, Courtney Chalker and his crew, and they are, and we are proud to announce that they are a proud sponsor of this show, Bary Clower, Bar YU Live. Well, and that's how you get a hold of them right there.
They're a sponsor, Brian, but we're going to try to make them proud.
After watching the show, they may not be a proud sponsor.
If you need a barn built, pipe fence, and he has a background of horses and cattle and knows a little bit about that type of stuff. That's the neat thing about it. If you get somebody that can work iron and build pens, and he can help you out a lot of ways and build houses, just anything that can be built, and he's a heck of a welder. From a broken heart to the crack of dawn, he can put it back together. So he's a man.
That's right. Santo Ironworks. Wow, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's why I didn't, Bary. You did a great job. And also, so Courtney may be with us live next week, too. So next week on the 8th, we're more than hoping. We're begging you, man. You got to be here.
Well, I gotta pay the bills, but
I hear you.
But that's the main thing. We're going to try to be there because it's very important that we.
A lot of folks don't realize this is what Bary. If you're just tuning in for the first time, welcome to Texas Big Star and welcome to the Bar YU live show. And we're talking with Bary Clower, a real cowboy, a working ranch cowboy, and he does rodeos too, ranch rodeos. He does it all, but he's the real deal. Just look in the Louis L'Amour novels, and there he is. You'll find him. He's the cowboy out there doing the job. I mentioned some past episodes about hay, and we did. There was an episode about windmills that we posted last week.
Yes, sir.
And I got to see some of that footage. I remember that was pretty fun, and we learned a lot. We also learned about. Remind me, there was a special thing that happened about land, and you can just give me a refresher course because I was thinking about explaining this to somebody the other day. If you have cattle and you want to put it on your land, who's responsible for a fence?
Pretty much you have to look at your county. Each county has a different law. If it's open range or closed range. Open range means that like Palapena County where I live and Armstrong County where I moved from before, so I've had pretty much my whole career of cowboying for a living and for others was out in open range. And what that means that if legally, if Brian, you don't want my cows on your property, then you're the one that has to put the fence up.
Wow.
And that's an old Texas law. It's a good law, but also in all fairness, if I have cattle and own cattle, I want my cattle to stay home. You have a few that abuse that rule, abuse that law.
Sure.
But legally and Christians, if you want to throw that in there, just just being a good neighbor is really something that we look forward to trying to do, because I don't want your cattle on me eating up my grass, and I don't want my cattle on you eating up your grass. We want to be able to really make sure that we keep that. The open range law, the closed range is you are responsible to keep your dog on the leash. You're responsible to keep your cattle home. So when that happens, if the law, in that area gets a phone call, then like this past week, I did this for an individual in Erath County. He called me, and he hired me to go and get these cattle off of his property. And then the gate was left open from the individual, the neighboring ranch, and so I took him home. He paid me for getting his land back like it was supposed to be, because he was the landowner. The cattle owner is supposed to pay me for getting his cattle back home. So now, if it does fall into the hands of the law can take care of it. They can seize those cattle, whether they know who they are or not, and then there is a penalty or a fine charged. And the reason they have that penalty or fine is to keep you going and checking your cattle, checking your fences, and making sure that does not happen. Many times the cattle, if they are picked up and there's a charge against them or a lien against those cattle, sometimes it's going to cost more than the cattle would be worth. Those individuals won't even claim them. I've had that happen. And so we will take, after 18 days, nobody claiming them, we can sell those cattle through public auction. Okay. Wow. And then I would get paid for my damages. You would get paid for your damages. If there's any money left over in Palapena County, that money goes into the jury duty fund. And that's how jury duty members get paid from just like seizing a car or seizing drugs or anything else that may get seized by the law and handled properly, because that is the law, and that's what we try to live by.
Wow, Bary, you are a wealth of knowledge. Well, next time I have some problems with cattle in Palapena County, next time I got problems with cattle in Palapena County, I'm going to call you. But this, what we're going to do, Bary? We're going to talk about this in another episode, because we actually have some of you talking about that during the Bar YU episode. What we want to do now is it's a good time to talk about it again and thank our newest sponsor for Bar YU Live, Santo Ironworks, Courtney Chalker, and the crew. You can find them right there, santooironworks@gmail.com, 817-312-9937. There they are. Like Bary said, they can fix it. And Ironworks, Santo Ironworks, Courtney Chalker and his crew. Thank you so much, Santo Ironworks. Also, Bary, I'm looking at and I'm holding up right here. Can you see that?
Hey, man, I hadn't seen those before. You got a mug.
These right here.
I always thought I made a good-looking mug.
You got a mug, all right. No matter what troubles you have in life, folks, it's okay.
More like a mug shot.
Because we got this cup gonna fix everything. It's a Bar YU mug. Bar Y University mug. If you have a cup of joe in the morning, you need this. If you have some hot Kool-Aid that you'd like to drink, you need this. If your tea needs to be in a fine receptacle, the Bar Y University mug. Bary, these look sharp.
Sauce in it, chips.
Yes. You can find them at texasbigstar.tv. Repeat after me, Texas Big Star TV mug. Bar YU. And there's also lots of other stuff there if you really, really are into that. Even if you're not, buy them as gifts for your friends. I like them. I like them a lot. T-shirts. Bary, did you realize that we have kind of a T-shirt contest going on kind of thing? We kind of want to get some people's feedback on T-shirts.
Well, it would be a wet one if it was out here today.
Oh, that's funny. But we have 2 T-shirt designs, and we would love your feedback as a viewer on which one you like. We're going to put them up this week, coming up, on baryclower.com. That's where you can find all the information about Bar YU and Bary. baryclower.com. And just let us know what you think about the T-shirt designs. Give us your input. We'd love to hear from you. Bary, we are running out of time, sir, but I do want to get one last thing out of you. What is your tip of the day?
I guess our tip of the day, no matter how high you get up the ladder, I want you to look at the door that I'm standing by on this live show. Can you read that, Brian?
Yes, sir, I can.
So my tip of the day, no matter how high the hill is you get on top of, never forget about the valley you came through to get there. So just keep that in mind.
Very nice. Bary, thank you. Thank you. Remember, folks, you can catch Bary on every episode of Bar YU, and you can find him, obviously, TexasBigStar.tv. Just mull around and check that out. And don't forget BaryClower.com. And Bary, thank you so much for your time. I know you got some things to do. And hey, tell Ty thank you so much too. I don't know if she's still standing there, but Ty was able to make this digital audio-visual connection possible. Brought to you by Ty.
Thank you, Miss Ty.
Yes, sir.
You did a great job.
Thank you, Ty. I don't see Ty. I just see you, Bary.
All right. Well, I think she put y'all to shame. Y'all be careful.
Thank you, sir. Have a great, great day.
You too.
And thank you, folks, for tuning in to the Bar YU live show right here on TexasBigStar.tv, BaryClower.com. Check that out. And once again, thank you to Santo Ironworks for being our newest sponsor of Bar YU Live. I'm Brian B. Barrett, and until next time, be very, very good. So much. Bye-bye. We'll edit it to make it look straight. That makes it look, it can change tires on the moon.
I tell you how New Mexico this year, we've got cheese dip and chili for breakfast. Okay, we're just get started early on the hard work. All right, well, I think she put y'all to shame. Y'all be careful.